welcome. My name's Andrew Haddad, First Agent Hub. We are building out this awesome community with tons of resources. We've already launched our flagship signature course, 10 Days to a Contract. And so, as our topic today for our coaching call is going to be the following. So, we're actually going to talk about the power of 10 days. And I'm not going to go through day one, day two, the day three. This is what you do. I'm talking about the power of 10 days. And I'm going to insert a couple different models. I'm going to present here for probably 20, 25 minutes, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And as you know, if you guys have any comments or anything with where I'm going, feel free to speak up. I love involvement and interaction in our coaching calls. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So, the power of 10 days. When I initially wrote the 10 days to a contract, I really recognized that it is a cycle. It is a 10-day cycle. So, you can agree with me or not, but if you've been in real estate at any moment of time, you have your highs where you're like super, super busy. Then you got the lows and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? It's easy to fall into slumps. It's easy to get off course. You always find, real estate is like that emotional roller coaster and physical roller coaster. As sometimes we're super busy, sometimes we don't know where our next customer is coming from. And so the power of 10 days and how I wrote the 10 days to a contract is really a success cycle that keeps you continually focused and motivated. So I had an idea that I wanted to put out there to the call to everybody here is, I've been really going deep and talking about 10 days to a contract. And after, tons of just analysis, and I overanalyze everything. I don't know if you're like me, but I've recognized that the 10 days to a contract cycle, the 10 days to a cycle, that momentum cycle that we get on, if you did that just the 10 days, once per month, 12 times throughout the year, and that means you get 20 other days to do whatever you want. That and that alone can absolutely make a huge difference in your business and really get you successful. So to think about it, right? You've had those moments in your life where you're super efficient, right? You're moving forward. Typically, I like to use the example of when you're ready to go on vacation, right? Whether you're in real estate for 10 years, 20 years, or 2 days, as a matter of fact, before you go on a vacation, what happens? You guys get so focused in on what needs to be done before the vacation. You are like a rock star, a superstar, being able to identify like, hey, I need to do this, 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 this. Have you guys ever felt that? Like before you go on a vacation, like you are an efficiency master. You're just checking things off the list. You're excited about your vacation. That's how I look at the 10-day cycle and within First Agent Hub. The 10 days, again, you can do this once a month, 10 days a month, and you're going to be far and above any other agent out there. So what I'd like to do is, if you do have note paper, if you don't worry, I'll send this out in the notes. I want to connect the 10 days, the power of the 10 days to what I like to call the Core 5. And the Core 5 is another program that's coming out. You guys are going to get all free access. This is a proprietary products development that I've put together over the past, 7 or 8 years. And you guys are going to be the first ones to see it. But what I like to call the Core 5 are these 5 major attributes that I believe, real estate or non-real estate related, these 5 pillars, when you can really manage and analyze where you're at these 5 pillars, that by raising the standard in each of these pillars or raising your skill level and your knowledge and awareness in each of these pillars, you can become so successful. So anyway, so the Core 5 is number 1 is confidence and courage. I wanted to share with you, there's a lot of unknowns in this world. There's a lot of unknowns in the National Association of Realtors and our industry. So if you're like me, there's some fear around that, right? We don't know what the changes are exactly. We know this is still a fluid process. We don't know what the impact it's going to be on the buyers we're working with, the brokerage we're with, how our business is going to run, how are we going to show properties. There's a lot of fear that's wrapped up into the whole NAR settlement. And the reason I keep bringing that up because it's a game changer. It's a big change. But the cool thing is that within the 10 days to a contract and that 10-day cycle, I can point out right now, we address all of those fears. So I just want to paint the picture. If there is some underlying fear, and we all have it about, hey, how's our industry going to be impacted? How is this going to impact my business? Gosh, is this going to impact how much money I'm going to make, how successful I'm going to be? I'm providing for my family. Like all these things come in, and with uncertainty comes fear. So what the first pillar in the core five is what I like to call confidence. So we address this throughout the entire signature course of 10 days to a contract. Number one, in day one, we talk about mindset. It's literally day one with the content and the videos is the most comprehensive day because that's where we start. It's like, being able to be prepared, and you got to prepare yourself up here. Guys, when you are good up here, when you're feeling confident and you know it, everything else is easier. I can promise you that. I'll give you an example. Have you ever had to prepare for a project or an event or something in your life? Somebody got married or this, or it was a birthday party, or you're presenting for a new job. Have you ever found yourself in those situations where you have put in so much work, like you're mentally prepared for this outcome? And yes, you could have been nervous. Yes, there was fear on how the event's going to turn out. But once the event happened, or once the project presentation was done, you felt inside, you're like, oh my God, that was easy. That was a lot easier than I thought. That went off without a hitch. Can anyone speak up and say, can they connect with that at all? Have they ever prepared so much for a project or an event that the nervousness of the event itself actually faded away because they were so prepared? Yes, Eli, thank you. Yes, yes. So that's why I start the 10 days with the mindset. And we put a lot into mindset. We have the PITFAR exercise and then busting limiting beliefs. So what's so powerful about confidence that you build within the 10 days is that, number one, we're tackling the most important thing that we have is our mindset. We do mindset exercises. I show you different models of how you can really change that cycle or interrupt that pattern in regards to how we think, how we look at our perception on life, everything. What we call that is reframing. So that's why we can build confidence within you through the mindset. Also, I don't know if you knew this, but guess what? In 10 days to a contract, can anyone take a guess how many contracts you write in 10 days? Exact. Oh, almost there. So we actually write 25 contracts, over 25 contracts within 10 days. You might be thinking, Andrew, you are nuts. How on earth? I'm so busy. How on earth am I going to be able to write 25 contracts within 10 days? I'll tell you why. 10 days, it's easy. Remember what a contract stands for means. A contract is a buyer representation agreement. That is a contract between you, the agent, and the buyer. Number two, purchase agreement, right? We're selling a house. We write a purchase agreement. That's the second type of contract. And the third type of contract that we talk about throughout this course is the listing agreement. So you might ask yourself, Andrew, gosh, 10 days, 78 lessons within 10 days to a contract course. Like, this is just too much right now. 25 contracts, are you nuts? I'm going to tell you this right now. Have you ever done something and you've done it so many times where it becomes a natural second nature to be able to do that? Well, guess what, guys? I don't know any agents out there in North America that are writing 25 contracts within 10 days. Here's what you walk away with from when we're under the pillar of confidence right now. Can you imagine how strong you are to be able to be familiar with the forms, whichever state you're in, to be able to be familiar with the process of being able to sign a purchasing agreement, explain a purchasing agreement, list a house, have a buyer consultation, and go through the buyer representation form with clients. The beautiful part about this entire program, seriously, is you become so skilled at writing contracts that it becomes a second nature. What happens to your confidence when that happens? Any fear about getting somebody on the phone or getting in front of them or writing a contract completely disseminates. You become confident. And that's what we're looking for. Also, with confidence, we talk about mentorship and accountability within day one. Heck yeah, I have mentors to this day. There are things in real estate I simply don't know, and there's places in real estate I want to go. And I'm always going to surround myself with the best people, the people that have done it. But guess what? From a confidence standpoint, sometimes you need to borrow confidence from others until you have it within yourself to carry that on yourself. That's why one of my favorite mantras that I stand by you and I stand by First Agent Hub, every single one of you on this call, is I will always stand in your greatness, never your limitations. So what that means is I will carry that confidence for you until you're at a place where you can carry it for yourself. That's why mentorship and accountability is so important. That's all on day one we go over. And then finally, overcoming objections. Gosh, that just objections are a part of life. Well, they're especially a part of the real estate life. And so being able to learn an awesome model that completely reframes what objections are and how they're handled, most importantly, oh my gosh, you get to a point where you're like, come on, what else do you got? What else do you got? You're welcoming the objections, which is so much fun. So that is, again, really exciting. Guys, under that pillar of confidence, of what we need to be confident in our business, that energy exudes from us. I'm not talking about ego or arrogant confidence. That's not us. We're talking about true confidence in our capabilities, the services that we can provide to others, and our skill level, and be able to write contracts, because that's exactly how we become successful in this business. So the 10 days of a contract, if you're looking to build confidence, you're looking for more courage, you're looking to really make writing contracts more of a second nature in your business, not like a big thing. Like this is what I do. I just write contracts. Within the 10 days to a contract program, we write literally over 25 contracts. 25 contracts. Next, I want to get to the next pillar of the core five, which I call connection. I always say, you can have the greatest confidence in the world, be able to be the best presenter in the world, be able to be the best talker, you're so sharp and all of that. But if you can't connect with your clientele, you are completely missing the boat. And I know you guys know you've come across people that are great communicators, they're confident in what they do, but you just didn't quite align with them. Do you feel me? Is that something that you guys can connect with? And then exactly. And then also you've met those people, whether it be a client or you're a customer to a client, or those people in your life that have come across you in your life and you're like, oh my gosh, they get me. They are, I feel connected to them. Guys, within the 10 days to a contract, we're all about connection. I'm all about connection with my clients. I'm all about connection with our coaching program. But for example, let's talk about a big fear coming out, right? Buyer representation forms. How many buyers are we sitting down with this week, going through and asking them to commit to you as a client so that you can represent them exclusively as a buyer's representation? How many contracts are we signing? Here's the great thing is when you can connect with people at a high level, this big fear of like, gosh, are they going to commit to me? If the commissions aren't there, are they going to be able to make that up? What if they say no, the fear of rejection, all of that. From a level of connection and what we work on within the 10 days to a contract is phenomenal. So if you're looking to connect at a high level with your clients, because that's the most important thing. Once you're connected with somebody and you're on the same page, they get you, you get them, both parties feel acknowledged and validated. That type of connection. I'm talking deep connection, a connection that lasts, especially in real estate, for decades and decades, that will pay out dividends to you and your business and your family. So we dive into connection at a high level. Day two, we talk about wedding list. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine doing a massive amount of business with people who you know, like, and trust, and that know, like, and trust you? How to really formulate that and really put that out there. We talk about that. We talk about in day five, we talk about prospecting and outreach, right? How to connect with people instantly. I have this technique that I'll share with you, and it's not right now, but I'll share with you. But it's I had you at hello. All right, I'll go ahead and share it with you right now. I call it I had you at hello. So if anyone's ever seen that Jerry Maguire movie, Show of hands. Yep. Jerry Maguire, you had me at hello. Remember Renee Zellweger said that? Guys, the techniques that we're learning within this course, I can promise you, you will have them at hello. Because what we do at hello is we can match their tonality, their talk tracks, keyword backtracking, the techniques and soft skills that I teach within this course to be able to connect with people at hello is phenomenal. And it's true when you're making those outreach calls and you got some nerves. Oh, what am I going to say? I don't want to sound too salesy, all that kind of stuff at the level of your confidence and your connection, being able to have that first 20 seconds of a phone call with somebody, to have that go great and connect is setting the stage for a very amazing phone call, consultation, whatever it is. And you can literally, you have them at hello. You had me at hello. And I teach you how to do that through this course. Another thing we talk about is connections. What is it? I'm sorry. Yeah, day one, we talk about hot topics and discussion points. A lot of people are hesitant to reach out to their sphere of influence or their clientele because they're like, what do I talk about? I don't want to say, I'm just in real estate. Like, what do I talk about? Right. And so we give that to you within the 10 days, being able to be up to date with cool information that people want to know about. You're literally the carrier of information, the carrier of news. And most importantly, I use this script. I apologize if I'm talking too fast, but I love this stuff and I know this stuff. I use this script with everybody that I work with, all of my clients, and I've been saying this for almost 20 years. I say, Machek, if you need anything real estate or non-real estate related, I want you to look for me. I want to be your point person because of the business I'm in, because of the connections and all the people that I've built relationships with. I can save you tons of time being able to not have to look on Google or Yelp and stuff. Lean on me. Why do I do that, Maciek? I do that because I want them to think of me first, real estate or non-real estate related, because guess what, guys? We are on the front lines for everything right now. People moving into our state, people moving into town, people moving out of town. We're typically the person that has all the connections that they're looking for, but it's starting to make your value proposition as an agent broader. And that's what I love about that. Use me as a resource. And if you don't have preferred vendors that you can, recommend them to, somebody else in your office does, I guarantee it. But really start to establish yourself as that expert resource. The last thing I want to talk about with the whole pillar of connection, and if you're out there and you're looking to be able to build deeper relationships, the techniques that we learn in this course is we don't snorkel. Snorkeling is you're right on the surface. 99.9% of all the agents, all communication is just surface level snorkeling. That means we're just kind of on the surface layer, answering their questions, servicing them, being there for them, all that kind of stuff. What I like to do is really snorkel and go deep with people with relationships. And you might think it like takes a long time. It doesn't. You can connect with people instantly and really ask powerful questions, connect with them at a deep level, again, very quickly, and be able to have them feel gotten. Like they feel like they get you, right? They feel acknowledged, they feel validated. Guys, it's all human connection. And we do that through this course. Again, we do that with day 10 on follow-up on 10 days to a contract. So I want to stop right there. We've hit two big pillars that I believe are necessary in this industry is agents having the confidence to go through the potential changes, the impact, the future, the conversations. And then next is being able to have that high level of ability to connect with people at a deep level, which is a game changer on all fronts. I want to stop right there. I want to open it up to anybody. If anyone has any specific questions with regards to those two pillars of the core five. And if not, that's okay. Well, if you have any questions, just speak up. Guys, next, we're going to talk about the third pillar of the core five, which is character and how character is addressed with the power of 10 days, 10 days to a contract. Here's the thing. The people that are most successful in the careers that they're in, it's something that they're passionate about. It's something that they truly feel within their soul of souls that they are helping somebody, that they're doing something, they're making a positive impact, they're making a change, they're filling a gap, they're doing something that is, that is helping out something that's bigger than ourselves. That's why character is so important in this business and in the core five model. Character is really what to me what I how I define it. Character is truly being someone of integrity and also being someone that can find joy in the business, be successful in the business while remaining true to themselves. I'll say that one more time. I believe character, the definition of what I'm looking for right here is a high level of integrity, but it's to be able to be successful in a business while and finding joy and fulfillment while being true to thyself. And that's what we also work on within the 10-day course. It's number one, like day one, we're all day long, we're identifying our North Star. Absolutely. If we don't have a North Star that we're leaning towards, we're going to get pulled off into other directions. And guess what? You're going to find yourself unfulfilled, worn out, exhausted, and not as successful as you wanted to be. By remaining to the North Star, it's so important. Next, on and day 8, within the context of character building of what we do within this course, is we really talk about our unique value propositions. And I'm not talking about surface level value propositions. Yeah, we'll negotiate for you and we'll write the contract and all of this. I'm talking about what you have as a unique value proposition, really identifying that at a deep level within yourself. And then to be able to ask questions, and when you connect and communicate with your clients, identifying what is most important to them, right? And then connecting your value proposition to what is most important to them. Because guess what? I've been on, I'm guilty of it as well. I've been on appointments before where I kept talking, hey, we do marketing and international, all this, all this. Come to find out that the only thing that was really important to the client is communication with them and keeping them in the know. So by being able to dive deep, aka scuba dive, and connect with people at a high level, guess what? We're able to come across at a much stronger place, being true to ourselves, providing so much service and value, which ultimately leads to a successful transaction and a phenomenal experience. Because after the deal's done and said and done, I was with a client yesterday, 14 years ago. I helped him buy a house. I forget all the details of that. And he does too, as far as, the price and all that kind of stuff. What he remembered was the experience that he had working with me. So by being able to stay true to yourself, knowing what your unique value propositions are, and being able to communicate those in a way that connects with what clients value most is absolutely priceless. We do that through this course, which is awesome. Also in the context of character as one of the core 5 pillars that I'm writing this course on is we talk about our passion projects. Why not, when you are true to yourself, why not? That's what I say. In real estate, there are so many different directions that you can go. Why choose a direction that isn't fulfilling for you? If you want to work with, first-time home buyers, if that, and there's immense joy being able to help people with the biggest purchase of their life, why not build a business around that? Or if you're really big into a nonprofit or something within your community that you're already so passionate about, remember, be true to thyself. Why not be able to connect with them at a high level as well and be able to, and you're going to be 10 times more efficient, successful, and most importantly, fulfilled. That's why our passion projects, which we talk about on day 4 within the program, are so important. The next pillar, the big pillar within the core 5 I want to review is this idea of curiosity. So curiosity is a very powerful attribute that I like to utilize within my life, within my career, that has helped me frame things that have happened in my life in a really positive way that opens itself up to more opportunities. And I call it curiosity. The truth is when you can get into a state of curiosity, not only are you going to be connecting with your clients at a very high level, you're going to be the way you look at challenges or obstacles or things that might come in the middle of a real estate transaction, which if you've been in real estate, you know, I always say it's one of the most complex businesses. If anything is to go wrong, sometimes it does. And, my job is here to help you navigate those hurdles throughout the transaction. How you frame up obstacles and challenges, if you can come from a mindset of curiosity, I can't share with you the power, how important the power within curiosity. What that does is that takes you out of your own set of beliefs. It helps you take a step back and say, why is this happening? Or how could we make this better? Or we dive deeper into looking at the whole challenge or the whole transaction in a different light, a different perspective. We reframe it. So by coming from curiosity, not only helps us find better solutions, we build more connection with our clients, but we're also setting them up for success as well. So there's so much power within curiosity. We actually, throughout the 10 days to a contract program, we nail this one on day 5, outreach, being able to ask the right questions coming from curiosity. Why our passion projects are so important. That's on day 6. Event day 9, we touch base on being able to come from curiosity. When we are actually coming from curiosity, another big point of this is we can create space for other people to share what's most important to them. I'll say that one more time because this is so important. When we're able to come from a place of curiosity with our clients, one of the greatest gifts we're giving people is we are creating space for our clients to be able to open up and share what's most important to them. And I can tell you that's a very, very powerful attribute. And then finally is within the context of curiosity, we day 10 is all about follow-up. I call it follow-up is king, because follow-up is king. And when we can come from a place of curiosity, when we're following up, a place from character as well, as, hey, I'm genuinely concerned, I'm genuinely interested, what can I do differently to help you? Or what information do you need answered before making a decision? I will give you a short story. I am working with a very difficult client right now, probably one of my most difficult clients I've ever worked with in my life. And coming from a veteran in the industry and a coach and a trainer, all that kind of stuff, I've been trying to really get a grip of working with this specific client that's very, very difficult. I have to continually remind myself to come from curiosity because every part of me just wants to be like, I told you so, I told you so, like I know it. But the truth is, the only way to break through with difficult clients is to come from a pure state of curiosity. So I've had a really tough client. She's so high anxiety, so, I mean, just off the charts with nervous, and worked with her for 2 months and all that kind of stuff. Because I was able to come from curiosity, I was able to identify that her her recent home that she owned out on the east coast of Florida, horrible situation. I'm talking life traumatizing situation with neighbors. And this anxiety that fed her, this fear that fed her, this difficulty of us communicating and her being able to like get real with me was all hindered on this traumatizing event. Because I was able to come from curiosity with her, I was able to tap in to what she's going through. And I talk about it inside the program, 3 levels of listening, right? I want to connect with them. I want to be able to see the world through their eyes, experience the world through their eyes. Guys, you learn this through this course, which is phenomenal. But at the end of the day, my frustration with the client, obviously, I was very frustrated. She just wasn't listening to me, wasn't doing the things that I know what to do. She knows everything. My frustration with the client turned into empathy and compassion. And so by coming from a place of curiosity, one of my 5 core 5 pillars, I was able to deepen that relationship, tap into something that was, that was really holding her back. It was holding our communication back. And we were able to help her move forward. Thank God she's actually closing next week, which is going to be awesome. But most importantly, I was able to connect with her and help her at a very, very high level. And the beautiful thing about the curiosity is after we broke down the walls that was holding us back, the major fears and traumatizing events of her past experience with other agents doing real estate, she actually, everything subsided. She actually became really nice to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, you're not that bad, So I mean, it was really a great experience, but that was all because of the core pillar of curiosity. How are you guys doing? Am I going too fast? I got one more pillar to go through before we open it up. Any questions or comments? All right, you guys are doing awesome. So, last but not least, one thing that we dive into at a high level, I know a lot of people is I want to be a better communicator. I want to be a better at presentations. I want to be better at presenting the buyer agreement. I want to be more confident on listing agreements. Guys, in this course, it's all about communication. And that is so, so important. I like that, Eli. Follow up with curiosity is powerful. Thank you. Communication is really how to develop those right skills to be successful in this industry. And what's really great about this is I want to talk about this concept of momentum within the 10 days. If you're like me, we've had those months where it's so busy, those weeks that it's so busy, or you got 3 closings or 4 closings, and you're like, yeah, I'm rocking it. And then you've had that lull where you're like, gosh, where's my next buyer coming from? You've had momentum and then you've lost the momentum. Guys, being able to tap in to communication at a high level and build momentum around that is something we dive deep into this course, 10 days to a contract, which you're going to learn all about that as well. But really with communication, we dive into the soft skills. Did you know that the words we speak, they're only 7% of our communication, 7%. Our tonality, the way we sound, our tempo, our rhythm, the way we sound is 38% of our communication. And the remaining 55% is body language. So you may or may not have heard those stats before, but that's why I'm such when my coaching industry and the coaching business and First Agent Hub, that's why we're all about communication. Going through this program and really investing in yourself from a standpoint of being able to be a better communicator, I guarantee it, you can go out and do anything in this world and you're going to be successful. I remember a quote from Diana Kokoska from MAPS coaching a long time ago. And it was when I was interviewing to become a MAPS, which is Mega Agent Productivity Systems, a MAPS coach within Keller Williams, which is, at the time, it's like, oh my gosh, a MAPS coach, the training they went through and all that kind of stuff. Diana Kokoska said to me, she said, when you become a MAPS coach, the level at which we practice communication, we practice all of these things, you can go out and do anything in this world. And man, that stuck with me of how powerful ourselves, communication is so important, not just in our real estate business today, but like it's in who we become. That's why, I'm a huge believer that your life will grow to the extent that you do. So when you're investing in yourself, invest in the number one thing that separates humans from everything else. It's we are able to communicate at a deep level with our clients, with other people. And the best part about communication, when we dive into all of that, is, and you're going to learn through the system, even on day one, you're going to learn is the different models we have is being being able to work on your skills for communication just in your real estate business is actually these models are not real estate specific. You can actually use these models in all areas of your life. So if you're here to take your real estate career to the next level, that's awesome. But here's a side effect. All right. Here's an impact. Your personal relationships are going to get better. Your relationships with your kids are going to get better. Your relationship with your friends are going to get better. Your overall confidence is going to get better because you're learning how to be a high level communicator, which again, I'm very passionate about coaching and training around. The last thing We do with communication is we get into our unique value proposition, how to be able to communicate that, how to be able to really align that and connect that with our clients. Again, so important within that 10-day cycle is really building that momentum. And then last but not least, what is it on day 5, we talk about prospecting and outreach and how to have those conversations. It's how to communicate at a high level, which can be a game changer across the board. So to wrap up this presentation, I appreciate you guys sticking with me. You're awesome. I want to share with you the 10 days to a contract is not just for your business. It is 110% throughout your entire life of how it can excel you to be a better communicator, better character, have a more fulfilling business. Because at the end of the day, the better you are at what you're doing, the better you're going to be for your wife or for your husband or for your children or for your colleagues or your partner. And that's the most important thing. So I take a very holistic approach to training and coaching and writing these programs that I'm not just working on your business. You may or may not know it. I'm actually working on you because I will always stand in your greatness with that. So guys, and the last thing I wanted to say, and so we went through how the 10 days of a contract really is formulated, but most importantly, how we build those 5 pillars, those powerful, powerful pillars on how you become a better person, which, we talk about, confidence and courage, how to have that in a good way, not an arrogant, not an egotistical way. Curiosity, how to come from curiosity and how that can open up doors and really create space for clients for building deeper relationships. We talk about connection within the 10 days, how we can connect with people at a high level. So ultimately we can serve them better, right? If we can serve them at a high level, we make that experience better for them. We talk about communication, which again, huge. And then finally, we talk about character, because at the end of the day, when we're true to ourselves and we're in an industry that we're really, that's our industry. Like that's my bread and butter. That's what I do. That this is what I do. Again, we spend a lot of time in the industry, our career of choice. When we're able to remain true to thyself with that and connect all those dots together, that fulfillment that comes out of that is just, it's it's better than money. It's better than anything. It is doing something that you're proud of. You're proud of yourself. You're proud of the professional that you are in this industry and how to separate yourself from the rest. So I'll get off my soapbox, and I wanted to share those the power of 10 days in respect to all aspects of your life. So right now, for the next, I'll probably say 10 minutes, I can open it up for any questions you guys have or any comments or kind of some takeaways that you're having from here. So you might have to put yourself off mute.
I got one for you, Andrew.
You got it, brother. Oh, you just
No,
paused.
this is probably the most common. Oh, this is probably the most common question that agents ask coaches, but I just have struggled with it for my entire career, and that is call reluctance. I know I'm here to help. I know I'm here to even past clients. I have over, 100, 150 past clients. There's only maybe 25% that I regularly call and talk to. Another 25% that don't answer my calls for whatever reason, maybe too much time elapsed.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it is, that when I do try, and then I get kind of discouraged, but the call reluctance of past clients should be low. And I struggle with that. And call reluctance of, expired listings, for example. That one is another one that I struggle with, and I sometimes I get like on 4 day streaks, and then 2 week
And
dead.
then nothing.
You know.
I hear you. So what you're asking, just so I can clarify, so what you're asking is, you know, how do we deal with call reluctance, especially when we're talking to our sphere of influence, which should be, it should be easy people to talk to. Like these are the people, past clients, sphere of influence, the reluctancy that we feel of reaching out to those people. Like you said, you're reaching out to 25%. How do we get over the call reluctance in that arena, plus other arenas that we know can open up opportunities like expired or for sale by owners and stuff like that? Is that the right question?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. How do we get over that call reluctance, even if they
I
seem
love it.
like people, you know them? It'd be easy.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So my first question to you And thank you for working with me on this one. So what I'd like to say is my big question is why do we call? Like why do we call? Like what's the reason of we make it? Why are we making these calls?
Because you trained us to.
Well, I think a lot of
No,
people. No, but
we
true.
call
Like
for
why?
business.
Like, why do we make the calls?
I mean, we call for business, and
We call for
sometimes
business.
it's friend. So sometimes it's a little bit of a catching up as well. But at
Okay.
the end of the day, would we be calling that particular person if there was, if we weren't agents, if we, were nurses, we got nothing to sell them or something? I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
so really, business is the reason we got to feed our families and do what
Yeah.
we want to do.
So that is a great thing. So Machek, his question is how do we get over call reluctance? Because that is one of the big things that help drive our business. Prospecting is something that absolutely drives our business. I asked why, and he said it is because we want to talk to him and stuff like that, but mainly this is the business, right? You said you wouldn't be calling him if it wasn't really for business and stuff like that. So here's the number one way around the call reluctance is you got to change up your why. If our why, and that's why I work so much on day one on mindset and really reframing mindset. If now our mindset isn't on, oh my God, I got to make this many calls for this. If I stop calling, business is not going to come. What am I going to say? Like all this kind of stuff. Are they going to, are they not going to answer the phone? Am I going to have to call again? It's been 3 times since they've called. The problem with call reluctance is the why around it. But when you can totally transform yourself, and I'm going to say for a moment there, take the real estate hat off and let's put that down right over here. And we come from a truly caring nature of, hey, Machek, I was just thinking about you. I was just thinking about you and I care about you. Knowing what we know in our industry, the tools, the resources, the connections that we have in our industry, we can help them real estate or non-real estate related all day long. So my suggestion for call reluctancy is completely putting in the work to redefine your why behind making the calls. And it's no longer business, if it's no longer just, hey, I got to make these calls for business, but it's actually to build your community of people that know, like, and trust you, AKA wedding list, our top 100 of the people that we know, like, and trust and know, like, and trust us. That's in the program. If we can take the real estate hat off for a second and only focus on building community with the people we love, the call reluctancy disappears. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. So there you go. I'm sorry. So, and the reason why is because there's just something inherent within all of us that we don't want to feel like we're bothering somebody. We don't want to feel like we're selling them. We don't want to come across as that guy or that woman or that person that is just calling up to get something. When we can reframe our big why to what can I give them and really say, hey, I want to give a gift. The energy behind giving, the intensity and frequency behind the energy behind giving is so much more powerful than taking. Would you agree with that comment? When we're helping people, we feel good. When
Yeah.
we're donating something, we feel good. If the energy behind being able to give something somebody is so powerful that it's contagious. Have you ever done that before? Like, in Keller Williams back in the day, we used to do red days and stuff like that. And we would give and take a whole day off of work and be able to contribute to others. Man, I've had so many conversations like that felt so good. I want to do that again. I don't want to do that just once a year. Or if you've helped somebody off the street or helped somebody with a project or even agents in the office get through something, there's something contagious about giving that we all need to tap into when it comes to call reluctancy. Because if our mindset behind making these calls is getting something, AKA we're doing this for our business to grow our business, that call reluctancy will always be there. But if we can reframe the calls into giving, wow, not only is it powerful, not only is it you're doing something great, but it's contagious. Anything that feels good, we are creatures of habit and pattern. When we start to feel good on a call like that, hey, listen, Maciek, I know you just bought that income property. Listen, I got some great connections. I just want you to know if you need anything, like another quote for a painter or an AC guy or whatever, just check with me first. I'm more than happy to give you any of my contacts that I've worked with, and I'll even be able to give them a call. That was a gift to Maciek. And guess what? Giving is contagious, and you're going to want to make the next call and make the next call. So I'm going on too long on this, but the bottom line is if we can reframe calls to giving gifts, which what are we giving as agents? Care, compassion, knowledge, expertise, resources, information. There's so many things that we can give with those calls. Come from a place of giving, not taking, and you will start becoming more it's contagious. You'll love doing it, and you'll love making the calls. And now the whole old thing of like call reluctancy is non-existent. It turns the complete opposite where I've had those calls where like, oh man, that was a great call, great call. I can't wait to call the next person. I can't wait to call the next person because it feels so darn good giving. So that's my take on that, Maciek. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, I do appreciate it. I know that even the expired listings, when I get calling on them, it's
Mm-hmm.
like the first three conversations are like, I need more coffee. I need, I don't feel like doing
Yeah.
this. I on my mind of what I need to do, but
Yep.
in 25 minutes, I'm on a roll, and
Yeah.
I'm not even. I mean, I am giving them right because I have free opinions of many years of
Sure.
experience. So
Sure.
I'm always glad to give in that way. But it's that initial component that eventually there's it's kind of like when you have a bad day or like when you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It's just
Mm-hmm.
so much into it. And I know once you're on a roll, it's a lot easier. But I guess for me, it's just difficult to get on a roll. Like going to the gym is easy for me to get on a roll on that. Brushing my teeth is easy, but calling, which is very important too.
Yeah.
I that roll breaking, and maybe I need maybe accountability can help. Uh, Doing it with other people can help, and I know there's tools and tricks. But I
Yeah.
just want to get your thoughts on original like
That's
what
awesome, man. No, it's a really
what
good
makes
point. I bet a lot of people on this call really can feel the same way with call reluctancy. But it's just like anything else. When you can change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, bold law, that change the way you look at what calls mean and what you're looking at completely changes. And when you're doing something you like, you build up enough momentum for it to kind of take an ownership of itself. That's why it's not hard for you to brush your teeth because now it's a habit. It's not hard for you to go to the gym because it feels good and now it's a habit. It is the same thing with the skill learned on the phone to be able to come from contribution always and be able to give and that feeling of giving. You do that long enough. Repetition is the mother of skill. Guess what? Now you don't even have to think about it. You're just present with your clients. And that, my friend, is very, very powerful. Does anybody, we have like probably 3 more minutes left. Does anybody have a question? Please take yourself off mute and ask away. I'm here for you. This is what this is for. All right. Well, guys, it is 12:52. We are going to end a little bit earlier. Maciek, you're going to say something?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say if no one else has questions, I always got
Yeah,
questions
please.
for you. Um,
Fire away.
so when it comes to building an agent brand online, right, and having it as automated as possible, is there a resource or two that you have found to be a good value, a good bang for your buck, for helping you manage that? I currently do everything myself, and that's like the
Mhm.
curse of my life. I always have to do everything myself because people don't meet my expectations. Well, they frankly fail my expectations because I have high
Mhm.
expectations. So, is there anything out there that you've found that would be a good resource for just the online presence, random posts that aren't like, here's how to bake a cake, but, real estate related.
Is this more for communication within your clients? Explain more of the actual purpose. Is it like within a CRM, like you're responding back to them, automating that, automating
Good.
or
That's a good question, and I can see that this is a 5-hour conversation. It could become that because there's so many components of it. What I was thinking more was the audit, like the posts that are scheduled for general staying top of mind, not for your clients, not for past clients, but just anyone who's friends with me on Facebook, anyone who checks out my Instagram or anything like that.
I got you. Yeah. Well, you're right. This could be a 5-hour conversation. And I want to answer your question because I don't dodge questions at all. You know that. So I'll give you a tool that I use that I received from a big marketer and stuff like that who's had huge success with it. And so far, I've had great success with it. It's called Metricool, Metricool, Metricool. And so it's almost like a HubSpot. It's a back end that you can really systemize posts that it links to all of your social media accounts, but then also it can send those posts out and it's all scheduled out and everything like that. But it's a very uniform way to get your messages out to your database on multiple platforms, and it's automated as well. And it's very highly analytics. Like you can track it. It's very trackable. You can track how many things. So you could do a campaign for 2 weeks that said, hey, I'm going to focus on this. Well, you can actually see the data of how much that was received or how many hits and stuff like that. So I hope this answers your question for right now. I'd probably recommend a system called Metricool. And it's something you got to learn, but it's a really phenomenal system that can automate things, campaign things, you can advertise on it, and from a standpoint of really getting yourself out there in an automatic way, but consistent way. I really love it. I have it for 2 of my businesses right now. So for First Agent Hub, and then I also have it for Future Contributions as well. And on 3, I'm sorry, Suncoast Group of Compass. We use it for Suncoast Group of Compass. So I use it on all my platforms. So
thank you. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right. Anybody else have any questions before we wrap up? All right. So here's my last little spiel here. Guys, my mission is clear. My why is clear. I want to add so much value to your life. I want to be a change agent in your life that stands by you, that helps you build your business to be so successful. Most importantly, I want to see you fulfilled in this business. That is my big why. I want to provide so much content, high level content and resources at such a high level for a very, very low cost. Now, you guys on this phone call, of course, our community is free. It's free right now. It's going to be $24 a month starting June 15th. If there's any other agents out there that you love, get them to sign up now, because once you're free and once you're in, you're free for life. And what that means is weekly coaching calls. That means you get free access to all of my programs and all the programs that are coming out, AKA Advanced Selling Skills, Core 5, Breaking Through Barriers 2.2, and more. And then the resource library as well that we're continually making better. It's a no-brainer. If you love any other agents out there, get them involved now while it's free. If you have any questions, I can send you the link, but it's this is my mission. This is my passion. I'm absolutely clear that I'm going to be right here in your presence every single week, continually adding so much value for not only the benefit of yourselves, but for the benefits of your family and your children and your children's children, because I believe that's the impact that we have. So guys, for more information, go to First Agent Hub. But I love you all, and thank you so much for investing in yourselves. I believe in you, and I'll always stand in your greatness. You guys have an awesome day.